Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. If this is your first time, today's video is all about perfumes that are going to take us from summer to fall, or fall transition scents. I'm doing a video in collaboration with So Avant-Garde. I'm not sponsored. Some of these fragrances I purchased myself. Some of these fragrances were sent to me, I'll let you know. But all of these fragrances can be found at So Avant-Garde. And for a short time, if you're interested, you can get 30% off. I'll leave the details down below. The special runs from September 12th to September 15th at midnight. And the code for the discount is the Perfume Nest 30. I cover all different price ranges and different styles of perfumes, and I think I've got 10. And with that, I'm just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna start off with a perfume that I bought a couple years ago, and I bought it because of FOMO. I hadn't even tried it, but based on the notes and the perfumer, who is Quentin Biche, I thought it was going to be a runaway hit for me, and it is called Liquide. I bought this when this was going to be a limited release. They were only supposed to release 2,000. Thankfully, they didn't stop at 2,000, and now anyone can get it, but I think my bottle number is, oh my gosh, no, they were only gonna do 1,000. My bottle is 570 out of 999. But thankfully, anybody can get it because it's a beautiful, this is such a pretty take on an orange blossom perfume. I love to wear Neroli and Orange Blossom in the warmer months. And I'm not quite ready to give that scent profile up as we head into the colder months because it does get colder here. This is a very warm take on the Orange Blossom. This perfume smells like the bottle looks. It really kind of smells like liquid sunshine. You've got Orange Blossom, there is saffron, there's musk, you've got aldehydes in the top. There's a really warm note of carrot seed. I'm really loving carrot seed in perfumes. A little bit of vanilla without being a sweet perfume, and some warm amber in the base. It has a touch of a warm leathery feel, and that's likely the saffron. So this is a beautiful, beautiful perfume for those of you who are like me, who love to wear Orange Blossom and are looking for something that is more appropriate in the colder months. Might as well go with the other Liquide Imaginaire that I have. This is Âme du Coeur. This was a love at first sniff for me, and I sniffed this when I was perfume shopping down in Houston. I smelled this, I bought it immediately. This is just, oh, something that I love. But to love this, you have to love citruses. You have to love a citrusy pepper with some like green woods in the background. Fortunately, I happen to love those type of perfumes, and even though they could be worn year-round, there's something about this profile that just screams fall and early winter to me. It is a woody perfume, but the woods in here are more green. I think this is a cypress or something similar. Again, you've got the pepper, you've got blood orange, and a kind of a fresh green patchouli in the base. I think this has akigala wood, which is a form of patchouli. It's like a split form of patchouli, but to me, it's not as damp and earthy. It's a little bit more fresh. It's a fresher take on a patchouli. It's spicy, it's woody, it's fresh. It's got a little bit of ginger in here. It's a very invigorating fragrance for fall. I have a large collection of Initio Parfums that DNA kind of, for the most part, jives with me. And one of my favorite Initio Parfums to wear in the spring and in the fall is Psychedelic Love. This is an almondy, powdery, purple floral perfume with a little bit of myrrh. So the purple florals go great in the springtime, and the myrrh and the almond gives this a little bit of warmth and heft, so it can be pulled off in the colder months. It does have a warm vanillic, almondy, powdery sweetness in the dry down, but it is just so pleasant, and my spouse is one of his favorite perfumes to smell on me. I've got a couple of greedy perfumes. One is a new release from 2025, and it is, I think it's called Éclectique. This is a perfume for those of you who are big fans of the greedy, fruity floral musk. This is, the fruits in here are strawberry, blackcurrant. I want to say there's just a hint of coconut, like these little shampoo-y, pleasant shampoo-y type florals. The musk in here isn't quite as heavy as it is in some of the other greedy perfumes. This one I think would be good for those of you who live in warmer weather because it's a little bit tangy. There's a little bit of citruses, whether it's like lemon or bergamot in the opening. It just has a bright freshness to it, and I think it would be great on a warmer fall day if you live somewhere where it's cold, or a colder fall day if you live somewhere where it's warm. I think this is a fantastic fragrance by the House of Toomey. This is Utopia. This is a fantastic signature scent. It's very, very pretty. It's a floral vanilla that kind of reminds me a little bit of Burberry Goddess, but it doesn't have any of the lavender. So take Burberry Goddess, remove the lavender, replace it with some florals, and in here it's jasmine. Tone down the vanilla just a little bit in Burberry Goddess and make that DNA a little bit more floral, and you have Utopia. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It has a lovely, musky, ambery, slightly vanillic floral dry down, and I think this is fantastic year-round, particularly in the transitional months. A vanilla that I neglect that is so incredibly beautiful is Note Vanilla by Micallef. This is a really pretty boozy, citrusy, floral vanilla. So this has, you know, 2 or 3 types of spirits. I think it's rum and cognac, and that sounds heavy, and it sounds like it would be really, really like a super boozy vanilla, but it isn't. It's a light, delicate, boozy vanilla. There are some subtle citruses in the top. I don't know what they are, but they're subtle. You know, maybe orange, maybe a little bit of bergamot, and some subtle florals in the background. I used to think that this was an exclusively cold weather scent until I wore it once on a really hot day. I think I wore this on like July 4th one year, and this thing blooms beautifully on the skin. I get a little bit more of a sweet leathery nuance during the hot weather, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to make it a point to wear this gorgeous creation in the next up and coming months. Okay, I'm gonna go with another green tea. I have several green tea fragrances. I think they're just very pretty and feminine and musky and floral and fruity, and they just kind of bring a smile to my face. I think this might be my favorite in that particular DNA. This is Adele, and the reason why I love this is because this features the note of Osmanthus, which to me smells like a peachy apricot. Sometimes it could smell like leather, sometimes it could smell a little bit like saffron, but I love it when Osmanthus smells like peach and apricot. So this is a lovely peachy, apricot-y white floral. I'm gonna say the flowers in here are probably magnolia, maybe jasmine, maybe a little bit of tuberose. They're kind of blended really, really well. I can't pick out a particular other white floral other than the peachy apricot nature to this and the background white flowers. This does remind me of one of my favorite perfumes of all time, one of my first niche perfumes, Good Girl Gone Bad. They're different. Good Girl Gone Bad is a little bit more, I'm gonna say it's more ambery. This has a little bit more musk, although the musk in this is really, really toned down. Good Girl Gone Bad has a pretty prominent, you know, woody cedar thing in the background, in the base. This one isn't quite as woody, but if you like that one, you're gonna love this one. And I just love this perfume, and it will be really pretty on like a warmer fall day. Okay, if you thought that cherry perfumes were going anywhere, think again. There are so many new releases featuring the note of cherry, and this next one is a new release by Plume Impression, and this is Love No Shame. This was sent to me, and I'm a sucker for a cherry note. I love cherry. I'm not really picky when it comes to cherry, and I think this is, if you love the note of cherry, this is a very likable cherry. This has got that cherry almond thing, but this has a little bit of like a whipped cream. I think this has chocolate or cacao. I don't get a ton of that. I get a dry, non-sweet cacao. As this starts to dry down, I can pick up something that smells a little bit like a dry cocoa. Very, very light, powdery florals in here. Again, I don't know the notes, but I get something light and floral in the background, but cherry, cherry almond, whipped cream, a little bit of dry cacao, and the florals in the background kind of round out this perfume. This is, I would call this bordering on gourmand. I would call this a flormand, or a floral fruity gourmand. So if you're really sensitive to gourmand fragrances or to sweet fragrances, you might think this is gourmand. I'm very tolerant of sweet fragrances in general in the colder months, so this one to me, I would say borders on that gourmand. And I know they have samples of this on their website. Another one that is new to me that was sent to me was by the house Burkles. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And this is Bordeau-Plasir de la Nuit. And originally the company was going to send me another perfume, and I looked at the notes and I thought, that seems to, I think that's going to smell something similar to Herba Pura, which I cannot do. So I asked them to send me this instead. I looked at the notes and saw that this had a green apple note. I'm a big fan of green apple, so I asked if they would send this one instead, and they kindly did, and I'm very happy because to me, fall is all about apples. Apple picking is very big here. There's just something about fall and the apples that just go, they're like a match made in heaven. And this is a spicy apple perfume with some florals in the background. So when I say spicy apple, don't be thinking cinnamon apple pie. I'm thinking dry spices like a green apple with cardamom that does not head into that cinnamon apple pie zone. It's very fresh. I'm sure there are citruses at the top and like a rose or peony as the flower. It smells kind of pink to me. It's like a pink floral with some green apple and some spices, and I think this is gorgeous for the fall. And there aren't a ton of green apple fragrances out there, so if you like the idea of a nice fresh green apple, like a spicy green apple with some underlying pink florals, I think definitely checking this line out, and they do carry samples, is a good idea. And I'm actually going to save one of my favorites for last. It's a new release from Banana Republic, and this is Marshmallow and Lavender. Oh my gosh, do I love this perfume. Well, first of all, I love a good marshmallow note, and it doesn't have to be sticky sweet for me to like it. In fact, for the past like 3 or 4 months, particularly in the hot weather, I wore almost 0 gourmands. If it was overly sweet, I wasn't wearing it. I usually like to wear my florals during that time of the year, but this one is so pretty because it's not overly sweet. It's light and fluffy and airy. And yes, it's nice and sweet and marshmallowy, but it's not overly sweet in my opinion. And I was a little bit worried about the lavender, to be honest with you. I get 0 lavender up top. I might get a little bit in the dry down, but to me, this is a light, sweet, fluffy, airy marshmallow perfume. It can be worn on its own. It's going to be light. It's not going to be overpowering. It's not, it's not a powerhouse. Or this will be perfect layered with any perfume when you want to amp up the marshmallow or give a fragrance a little bit more of a marshmallowy, sweet airiness. And that was it, transitioning to fall with some of these beautiful fragrances. If you haven't done it already, please let us know down below some of your favorite fragrances to wear in the transitional months, summer to fall, or what fragrances do you plan on wearing in the next couple months. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. I will make sure I leave the details down below if you're interested in participating in the sale. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.